episode 1 of the DENSI 2015 podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Waslocki. Laura Murphy will be joining us in other episodes to kind of get us kicked off and started. Lionel, we got a photo bomber there. Awesome. All right, we got Carla, Lindsay, Lionel, and Lisa on the line here. I'll have them each introduce themselves, tell us who they are, where they're from, what they do, and how many times they've been to Summer Institute. We'll start with Carla.
I'm Carla Haaven, and I'm from Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is on the eastern side of the state. I am a curriculum technology partner with the Grand Forks Public Schools, and last year was my first time at DENSI.
All right, well, we're glad to have you on board, Carla. Lindsay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Foster. I live in Saginaw, Texas, which is a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas, and I teach K-5 technology applications and computers at an elementary school, and I also do Denspirations. And last year was my first year at DENSI. I was with Carla.
All right, thanks for being here today, Lindsay. Lionel, over to you.
So my name is Lionel Bergeron. I am a technology coach for New York City's Special Education District. I'm in my office, so that's where you'll see people walking and wandering around behind me. This will be my third year, so I was in Burlington and Nashville last year. So.
All right, Lionel, thanks for joining us. And Lisa.
Hi, my name is Lisa Thompson. I'm an instructional technology facilitator with Union County Public Schools in Monroe, North Carolina. And this will be my second DENSI. I attended San Diego in 2011.
All right, so we got a pretty good mix across the United States here today. Carl, I'm going to start with you. Your first experience last year at Summer Institute. What did you think going in versus what you got and came out with?
I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into, and I still remember showing up at the dorm and everybody's hugging, and there was a few of us that were new and were like, what did we get ourselves into? But the experience is one that I can't even, it's hard to describe to my colleagues when I come back, and every time I start talking, they get that glazed over look when I start talking about Discovery Ed and all the people. But what I mostly got out of it was the relationships and the fact that we're so connected. Facebook group is such an active group, and if I need to ask a question, I get it answered in a pretty short amount of time.
All right. Well, that's it's a good point about everyone kind of showing up and everyone hugging. It's kind of like a family reunion, but you're part of the family, but you've never been to a reunion before. Lindsay, can you talk a little bit about that, and then also kind of what your next steps were after Summer Institute? What you did and kind of took off with from there?
Sure. So yes, it is very much like a family reunion, and if you've never been before or it's been a while, not exactly sure how to jump in, and I would encourage new attendees to just go ahead and take that first step. I promise that we don't bite. But like Carla said, it's almost indescribable and hard to get across to the people that are at home what the experience you had is. So I took about 2 weeks after Summer Institute and just kind of thought about my experience, and on July 29th I started Denspirations, which is my little selfish thing that I started for me, just to keep that passion that I had gotten at Summer Institute all year long, and it's just become this huge project, much bigger than I am, but every morning I post a little inspirational message for everybody to read, and now it's kind of that thing that everybody looks forward to. So
we do.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay, for those little pieces of inspiration each day. I know that it really just kind of keeps people going. So just like you said, a little pick me up in the morning never hurt. Lionel, when you talk about, Lindsay talked about reflecting a little bit. Being that you are the veteran on this panel here, coming into your third Summer Institute, how was it? Changed from the first year that you were there to what you got out of the second year to then what you were able to kind of take back. So how has your 2 years now changed from year 1 to year 2 and now going into year 3?
Well, I definitely think the first year was just a matter of getting to know the community and the group as a whole, and then introducing yourself and seeing what things related to education, technology that you have in common with the other people, and then exploring the things that you don't have. So I think the first year is just a very discovery, like figure things out, and it's tremendous the amount of resources you end up with. But the second year, because you stay in touch throughout the whole year, you make certain connections and you're contacting each other. So the second year, it was a lot of follow-up and then seeing what people had done over the course of this year. And after the second year, a lot of the makerspace stuff and the thing that we did with everybody just presenting all the different things that they do, I think that's what I implemented more after the second year, and in between this and coming back this summer, I'm really interested to see how people have grown with things like 3D printing or programming like that. So.
All right, thank you, Lionel. Lisa, talking about how things have grown, you were in Summer Institute in San Diego in 2011, or 2011. What are you kind of expecting this year coming in 2015, Summer Institute? What might have changed? What are kind of things that you're expecting? And what was your experience like back then versus now, and kind of what you've taken away from the past 4 years?
Well, the first thing, I was able to go in a few days ahead of time and make some connections with people that were coming in early. So I encourage anybody that has the opportunity to come in early or stay a few days later, connect with people and go ahead and make those reservations. That was huge. So I already knew some faces by the time we got there the next couple days, and we spent a couple days, touring San Diego and just seeing the sights and getting to know each other. In 2011, that was my first unconference. I hadn't seen that, experienced that format before, and loved that, and loved how it just is something spur of the moment that you could do and go to topics that you enjoyed. The way I think it's changed since then, I think the participants are more active and involved in doing things now than I think it was in 2011, from what I understand. But I was able to go to ISTE last year and ran into so many people that I met that I already knew from DENSI 4 years ago. So I'm excited to meet those people as well.
I can get it on. Yeah, that's okay.
All right, here's a question for the group as a whole. A couple of you mentioned the network. What is it like being a part of the DEN, the Discovery Educator Network? What is it about bringing out the best in everybody that makes you want to be a part of it, that makes people want to come back?
The back side or the okay, all right. I'm just trying to remember the address. That's the one on.
For me, that it's the connection that I've made with people, and I didn't get to connect with everybody at DENSI last year. In fact, over the course of the year, having been involved in DENSI, I've made even more connections. So people that I only saw or I heard speak or I knew via Facebook or Twitter, I've connected with, or I've met at like DENapalooza events or other DEN events, and I've gotten a chance to really get to know them over the course of the year. So it's not just an opportunity to get to know people in that course of the week. You really do build that network over the course of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll agree with that. The Facebook group has been so active that I've gotten to know people, just like Lindsay said, in the social media way, and now I can't wait to meet them again in person and visit with them and stuff like that. And I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago, someone started the makerspace thing within our DEN group, and that's just exploded, and that's been something that came back from Nashville at my district trying to get that going. And it's been a slow process, but the resources there is unbelievable.
And I also think that just being able to post a question specifically to somebody, you still get a lot of feedback from other people to input, or thought not to connect with, but they're more than willing to make suggestions or reference experiences that they've had similar to what you're trying to explore. I think that's what's really great, is that everybody's open to participate as much as possible.
Yep.
I agree. I connected with someone at a North Carolina event and was able to help me write a grant. So I'm going to ISTE, and because of somebody in with the den, and now I was able to get my hotel through because of the Facebook group. People had extra rooms and ended up getting a hotel right across the street. So those den connections really do pay off.
721.
They really do. All right, we are almost done here for today. Time. I want to give each of you one more question for each of you, then I'll give you a chance to close up. What is the one thing that a new participant to Summer Institute should either bring or do or not forget, or one thing they can look forward to? I'll start with you, Lisa.
Oh, I was going last the whole time. Now you changed up on me.
We got to keep people on their toes here. We like to make them think a little bit.
I thought I had time to think about it. I can just say one thing I say is good walking shoes. And I was in a walking program, and I got up every morning and walked, and I met the most people that were up in the morning going to walk. So whatever you're already doing, continue there, because there's probably other people that want to get up and walk and do the same thing with you.
Lionel?
For me, I think for my first experience, and definitely even the second time I went, was that you're going to get so much information all in 1 week time. Don't expect to digest it all in that week. Just kind of take in as much as you can. Take notes. I still visit notes more recently. I remember this. Let me go back and find it. And then give yourself an opportunity after a week to actually put some stuff together and look through it. But while you're there, just take in as much as you can. Experience things that you might not have done in the past. There's just so much information.
Lindsay?
Probably the best piece of advice that I got, and it was via one of these podcasts last year. So if you are watching this, I encourage you to Google the podcast from 2014 and take a look at those too. But the best piece of advice I got was try one takeaway a day. Focus on learning one thing. Like Lionel said, you get so much information. Take copious notes, but try to learn one thing and focus on one thing, because you can always go back to your notes. You can always go back to the shared Google Docs and take a look at what other people were saying, but you're going to get overwhelmed. And the other thing I would say is bring a power strip, because you will immediately make friends.
That is so true. All right, Carla.
Yeah, they hit on a lot of those things. I brought all the equipment, the computer, the iPad, the phone, everything. Power strip I also have. But just have fun. I mean, and build relationships that you're going to have forever. And I guess that's what I would take, what I've gotten the most out of. Obviously, I've learned from so many smart people, but just have fun. Because, as a pirate, it's always good to have fun. If anybody watched my application video, I had a hook and my pirate hat.
There you go, making its own appearance here at the podcast. We really appreciate that. I'm going to give you all a chance to say last words, anything that you want in about 30 seconds. Lisa, you're going to be last this time, okay?
Yay!
So it's kind of like some closing remarks, something you're looking forward to, or just anything you want about Summer Institute. Lindsay, we're going to start with Lindsay, Carla, Lionel, and then Lisa.
Okay, probably what I'm most looking forward to is seeing everybody and making new friends. I can't wait to get to know the people who haven't been, like Lisa, who hasn't been since 2011. I'm really excited to get to know you, and all of the other new individuals who are attending. And I am looking forward to connecting with the people that I made friends with over the past year, because I can't wait to see them. Don't be afraid of the people who run and scream and hug.
All right, Carla, over to you.
I
And the little window should
Yeah, don't be
open up.
afraid, and I just can't wait.
Now, with the item in there,
From
say
last
$9.99
year, they
that's
just
blue. Click on here.
joy to my life, and
And then
again, I'm just ending with have fun, and I'm pretty sure for all of you bring deodorant because I think it's going to be a little hot, but that's okay because we'll have fun.
That's really just a good, you know, information for life. Just bring deodorant wherever you go.
I should make that a denspiration. Bring deodorant.
Yeah. I'm guessing extra
You know what?
t-shirts, I think, this year.
If you
Okay,
need
so
friends,
do you
power
have, do you
strip.
have that little window open or
All right,
not?
Lionel.
What are you looking at?
I think for me, I'm really looking forward just to seeing how people, like, there were so many interesting projects that people were working on last summer, and their goals for the next school year. And someone mentioned that, like, the Facebook makerspace. So I'm really interested to see what even, how they did and how their ideas worked out, but then what they're looking forward to doing, the next school year and everything. So it's just really great to see those new ideas because it inspired me a lot for my school year and the things that I worked on with my teams.
All right, thank you, Lionel. And Lisa, go ahead.
Check that and just check
Well, I'm looking forward to connecting with all the people that I've met in the DEN Facebook group because that group formed after 2011. So somebody added me last year sometime, and I'm looking forward to seeing lots of people that I've had conversations with on there, and then all the new ones that are coming because there's like 14 people from North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to our North Carolina group getting together. All
right, yeah, North Carolina's definitely got a huge showing this year. Well, thank you all for being here. For everyone watching, thank you for watching. Head on over to dencommunity.com or denblogs.com to get up-to-date information on everything DEN. Again, thank you all once again for being here. And don't forget your power strip and your deodorant. We'll see you at Summer Institute.